All right, we're going to make some changes to the way we're doing the data. So normally we're adding the data right here. I'm going to make this its own separate database, so it's going to be on its own sheet. But you can click this link right here and it will open up that sheet. So that sheet's going to open you up to here. This is where all the full data can be found for January, February, March, and April. We are still working on February, March, and April because so many people have not turned in their data. Things that should be done every day: pull your contribution from your day before and then click that month tab, which I'll try to put that tab here every time we change the month, or you can just go down to the bottom and these are each individual months. I'm going to need help with everybody trying to add their March data, so I don't have to do it myself, but to start we're going to go right from April. So basically what's in green here, this is the same as what was on the other end, except now we're adding more data to it. This will help you be able to balance your contribution with what your app says. They should match. If they do not match, you need to open up a ticket. Also, we added where you can see what you dropped on people. So if they're not, if you dropped on someone that's not showing here, it wasn't reported. So you need to go check on this stuff, which you can also check their app. Just say Beautiful dropped on Jersey, for example. It says 1,500. If Beautiful says she dropped more than 1,500, she can check Jersey's data for the month and see what her total data says. So if she looks under Beautiful, it should say whatever the actual amount was dropped there. So that's where we can fix these corrections. We need screenshots of it. But if you do this every day, there'll never be a problem. We have a problem because we have people that aren't doing it for the entire month. So basically, I'm going to roll down today. I think I've already done mine today. I'm sure I did this morning. I'm going to delete it and redo it. So basically, every day you want to go to the current date. What's in green here is the date. So yesterday was the 15th. I'm sorry, I want to make this yellow. I try to make everything yellow for you guys so you know what you can edit. So let me make these yellow, these columns yellow. Mix Foxy, I'm trying to do a video here. What you doing ringing my bell? Okay, so here we're going to go to me, which is right here. Any foo-foos, we're going to automatically put those in, or any overdrop adjustments or things like that. These are things that, management will just do. They're obviously not going to be on your app, but it's also going to balance your numbers. But when the day's over, we should have no red here. Everything should be 0 green. Everything. So I'm going to pull up my data so you can see where I got these numbers from. Anything that's over, it's either organic or gambling. Some of the people gamble, so we need to balance this. But again, we want the ending result to be 0. Now, if this was more than 340, say this was 1177 off, then they probably missed the mid-tier booster. Then you open up a ticket to report it so we can fix it. But if you know it's a gamble or something like that, it's a few beans, just put that in the gamble part. But if it's obvious, if it's 1,000, 2,000, something that was a premium that wasn't reported, you just need to open up a ticket. But you always want to put your numbers that's on your app here. So whatever's on your app, that's what goes here. So for instance, we're going to pop this open here, and basically we're just going to go right down the line. So ICU is 99898, which is right here. And these should be in order from your ID, so that's correct. Like I said, I've already done these this morning. So basically, this is her foo-foo, so her foo-foo is 10,000, that's correct. Jacob did 7340. So of course the 340's off, so we put the 340 in gamble so it balanced. And Troll had 5K. Now just say I have another thing on here. Just say Shannon Boo's in the trade group and this was 1,000 and not 100. It's not listed here. You open up a ticket. So you send us a screenshot of your daily with the ticket, and just explain that, say Shannon Boo didn't report 1K, and then we'll have to add it and fix it. When we add that in the back, we have to adjust every row from there down, so it's sort of like it's not a minor adjustment, but we have to adjust that so that way it balances. Otherwise, when Shannon Boo does hers, her money's not right. So we have to make sure everything's on here. If you have someone on there that you're not sure if it was their foo-foo, and they forgot to bill it, it should be their name and a foo at the end. But sometimes you may have somebody that didn't log in at all with their foo-foo. You got to try to recognize their foo-foos and mark that. Okay, so that's how you do that part. So this should be green. There's no more initialing. I do have this coded, so after you put in your number, that cell should lock, which means nobody can change that cell anymore. If, for instance, you put in the wrong number, you either need to let us know, because management will be, as of right now it's just me that can edit it, but management will have access to edit it. So instead, just say you put 1,000 here instead of 10,000 here, and you won't be able to change it. If you get it quick enough, it'll allow you to change it, but if you wait, it won't allow you to change it. And this is to protect your data. So every time each cell gets data in it, it's going to lock that cell so that nobody else can put data in there. So basically, I have a notes thing on the side here. I think I put that in effect here. I was thinking about it. Yeah, I put Bigo ID, row, cell, and notes. So basically, you can, put whatever cell number, whatever information, or just put it on a ticket. Just let us know where the problem is. Just say the problem's on the 15th. You messed up the drop or whatever, and we'll go in and fix it. Damn, we're already through 7 minutes. All right, the next part is the monthlies. We don't want anybody to do anything with the monthlies here until the end of the month. So you can do your March. Go back to March. Enter your data in here. And again, everything here should be green. We didn't really do the gambling stuff last month. We really just started doing that a lot this month. So a lot of that we'll have to figure and adjust, figure out what was gambling, what was organic. But basically, we just need you to put your numbers in here. So if you put your numbers in here, the same thing, this is going to lock once you're done. You can also check over here to see what your foo-foo did if something doesn't look right from you. So this would be, people that you dropped on and who you dropped on and the amount that was reported. Okay, and then I also added this in here, which should make things a lot easier for everybody. Now you can pull up the month. So just say that today's April. Pull up your ID. So we're just going to hit Shoeman. Okay, so this is pulling your entire month. So this should match your monthly. So this is always another way you can do a quick check. It also calculates the gambling automatically. So basically what we're going to do on this one is I ran my monthly here for a demo. Okay, and I'm going to sort of see if we can slide this over to get both of this on one screen. We're going to run out of time here, so let me get this through really quick. Okay, so, all right, let's just do it this way if it wants to do a split screen, just to try to show you guys how to do it. Now, I did get this coded in order, so it should be fairly easy to go right down the line. Okay, so here, Missy, 420053, 419980 was reported. Just put whatever's on your ticket. Sexy T's a foo-foo, that doesn't go on there. That's a foo-foo, doesn't go on there. Next person is 24898. Remember, if there's someone on there that's not supposed to be on there or not in there, that's another foo. All right, Candy. Oh, wait, this Candy is 86004. Monet is 85, blah, blah, blah. So basically, everybody on your list here should have in there. Sometimes foo-foos you might have to add. If people have multiple foo-foos, their total foo-foo should add to that amount. All right, so troll is 43004. And that's as far as I'm going to go for this demo because we're running out of time. All right, so basically, with the gambling, it's still, you can't change these numbers. But basically what we're looking for here is big differences. Like if it's 1,000 off, 10,000 off, then we know something wasn't reported. And you can just take a screenshot of this and send it to us. We can track it down. But normally, mostly everything's either going to be greened or it's just going to be a little off. It's hard to do the gambling. Sometimes people go into your room, they drop one bean. That's of course going to throw these beans off or not. But that's really, we're not really worried about, a few hundred beans. Unless you're like a 5K host and you dropped 100 and forgot to report it, then it's a big thing. But basically, we're looking for the big inconsistencies. So like for instance here, let's say my app says Mel dropped 44,177 on me. Okay, so there's a 10,000 difference. So obviously would mean she misreported a drop somewhere. So you screenshot this, send a ticket to us, we're going to find that 10K. Now, by you checking yours protects the people it drops on you. So if the people that you dropping on are not reporting theirs, we need to know about it because we need to get those people out of the trade group. Because you're protecting their money here, and if they're not protecting your money, we want them gone from the group. So that's why it has to be reported both ways. If it's reported both ways, there's no way for an error to occur. All right, there's no need for you to do anything here. If you're good with Google Sheets, you can take a copy of this, paste it, and paste it to a Google Sheet if you want. If not, you don't have to worry about deleting anything because once we change the person's number here, it's automatically going to take that data out and delete it. And then it's going to go on to the next person. So every time the ID is changed, this will update. It will not update on the month. So if you want to look back at last month's, you have to re-change the ID again to whatever you want until the data changes. And then you can go back and check that last month. Now, some of last month's, if they're already done, like mine I believe is done, so my data should already permanently be in there. Let me see that real quick. I think I just did mine, made sure I put it in the new system. See, once you add it in there, my data's here. So this is a quick reference so you can see if we fixed anything. So these I left, like here, Missy's 5,800 off. It may not all be gamble, so I got to look at that. But these are the inconsistencies we're looking for, the 5Ks. That's $100 right there. So we're trying to make sure that everybody's money's straight. But we weren't really doing the gambles as much as we were this month, but we started doing it in the last half. But basically we want everything in green. So even if it's not in green and you opened up a ticket on it, and then when we fix it, the next time you pull up your March and pull it, it should be green, which lets you know it was fixed. That we found where the problem was, or we decided it was a gamble, there'll be a gamble in there. Either way, it will be fixed. Any questions, feel free to ask. We do need to do training, but we need to get people to show up for the trainings. But this is the best way that I could explain to go over it. But mainly the main thing is getting your data in daily. We still have people that don't have their data, which is screwing up everybody. Like here, that's me. I'm going to yell at Shoeman for this. He needs his data in here. But understand I'm busy sometimes like crazy. This one is a foo-foo. This one's no big deal. Foo-foo, the only thing we need to do for there is put that in there because that's already been billed back to under the sea. So foo-foos we don't worry about. But like I said, everything here should be. Like this person, they need to verify that day. But a lot of times, like Saucy missed these two. All this data's got to be done daily. Now, you can check your monthlies. If your monthly is right, then these are right. But the only way, like these overdrop adjustments here, these just need numbers put